we're living in the house that we own. Nobody can put us out of it.
Well,
We do what we want to with it. We had furniture. I had surprised her because with my job I had bought some furniture, but I left it, at the store because I didn't want it in the apartment. I wanted to surprise her. We finally get our house. You're gonna have some nice furniture to sit on. And we got there. Somehow they messed up our paperwork, and we had some of our furniture, but somehow the couch and little seat was gone. So, okay, said we wanted that. But I said, well, maybe this works out because this gives my wife an opportunity to choose what she wants in her house.
well,
So she went in there and cheesing just like that. And she went marching her way around that little store. And she saw this furniture. She said, I want that right there. I said, give me this furniture here. And I want it delivered on this particular day. So got to the house. Now, we had no furniture, so we hung out in the bedroom because the only thing we had was a bed. And this is a new bed by now. So we didn't have no more bed bugs, all this stuff gone. We got rid of the mattress. So we had this new mattress and stuff. We sleeping on this new bed and everything. So then we get a knock on the door and they come and they deliver our furniture. And you talking about having a good time, building up the house that we own after being homeless for 2 months. And here we are homeowners, and then on top of that, the car we had, it decided to break down out of nowhere. It was a brand new car too. It was like, well, this is the last time I'm gonna get a brand new car. But we needed a vehicle. Like she testified, we have an SUV that can sit in the driveway of our house. So we can do whatever we want to. The man came by the house today, not today, but the other day. The refrigerator in the house, I'm just telling them blessings because I'm forgiven. And when you're forgiven, blessings come along with that. So I just got to tell you why I'm forgiven. So we in this house and the refrigerator decides to act up. Didn't want to close right. All our food was spoiling, so it looked real nasty because, when food spoils, some of it drips out and it falls all over the place. It's like, oh, can't take this. People coming over the house. It looks really tacky. I called him. I said, this refrigerator that we had in this house, I know we're supposed to get it ourselves, but maybe there's something you can help us out with. And he did. Fix it. Yeah, we like, can you at least fix it? You know how to fix a refrigerator. And he said, well, I'll have my guy come over there and fix your refrigerator. But instead, he bought us a new refrigerator and put it in the house. I said, Mr. Faulkner, I said, we just needed you to fix it. He said, I know. I wanted to surprise you. Because you all are the best tenants I've ever had. So I had to go ahead and bless you. I wanted to give you this. So it was funny because before we moved in that house, he was going to rent it to another pastor. Wow. So I'm like, okay. He called and when we called him, he said, you know what? The Lord works in mysterious ways. He said, because the pastor that I was going to sell this house to, he just all of a sudden, just like he fell off the face of the earth, didn't know where the man was, hadn't heard from him. He said, so I'm just going to give y'all the house. So y'all can have it. So now he keeps coming over to the house because he just loves us that much. He come over, he said, look, he said, tell you what, he said, give me the measurements to a certain part in your yard. I said, why? He said, because I want to build you all a deck in the back of your house. So y'all can barbecue and do whatever you want to do in the back of your house. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting some measurements. We're going to get this together. We've been blessed beyond our imagination. And then on top of that, the members that he gave us, they know how to do stuff. So Brother Meredith here, when we get the opportunity, is going to replace our floors in the house. And can't nobody say nothing about it. It's our house. If I want to replace the floors in the house, I'm going to replace the floors. So she went cheesing again to Walmart.
it was
Lowe's. Went to Lowe's. She said, I'll go to Lowe's and pick out what I want on my floor.
I did. Yes, I did.
And she sure did. Most of the stuff in that house she picked out. I had all this furniture set for you, and she just went and got herself. The only thing I put in that house was the coffee table. And some lamps. That's about it. Everything else is all her. So I'm forgiven.
Yes.
When you are forgiven, your blessings will shock you. Because I don't know what I did to deserve such a blessing. And then on top of that, we got this house with me having no job.
Hallelujah.
I had no job. I did not have. She had a little job she was working, and she didn't like it, so she's like, I'm finna quit. I was like, don't quit yet. Let me find something. She said, I can't take it. So, again, the assembly y'all bless us with. These people, they take care of us. And they don't ask for nothing. They don't ask for a thing. So these two, they work in the same place. So it's like, all you gotta do, go down to our job, apply in person, and do all stuff they ask you, and you gotta go through a series of tests, and you get in there. So I'm going in there back and forth diligently on the bus, because remember the other car broke down, so I'm on this bus going back and forth. So I'm gonna take these tests, because I need this job, I gotta take care of a wife. And these tests, they weren't really that complicated, but they want answers that you really don't expect them to get, So it was like, okay, hopefully I passed. So it was like 2 days of these tests. So on that final day, they go around everybody, and they started asking me questions, and certain ones questions. What did you like about the little test that we gave? I said, well, I like that station over there and that station there. I said, okay. They walked away. It's like, well, I guess they just want to know I liked it, so they're going to leave me alone. So they gave everybody a paper of their grade. So I'm like, I know how to fail. I don't test well. Even if it's Bible, I mess up. I just don't test well. I just don't. I can teach with the best of them. But you give me a test, my mind goes completely blank. So I'm like, just don't. I said, oh, here's a test. I know I done failed it. When I looked at that test, I passed every test they had, and I worked there today. It's just a blessing. And then my wife, I told her, I said, you're applying at the wrong places, because every place you go to, you just don't like them. You just keep going up here, up, and you quit the next day, because you just don't like it. I said, so why don't you apply for some place that will actually offer you something? So she goes down to UK Hospital, puts application in, and again, she had some tests to go through, and she got the job, and she works there today, and we are able to pay for everything we got, and us together bought that vehicle outside. This is what God can do for people who trust Him. And throughout all of those things where I thought I had failed Him, somehow He had forgiven me for something. Whatever it was I did in my past had to have caused something. I don't know what it was. But whatever it was, I was forgiven for. And everything I lost, because we lived in a house in the ghetto. And, awful place. Shootings every day. We were glad to have a house, but people were dying every day in front of our house. People selling drugs in front of our house. This is on Chestnut. So we got to get out of this area, and for us to now live in a suburban neighborhood is a blessing. It's a truly, true blessing. It's nice to be able to go outside and mow my own lawn, and we actually got people who want to mow the lawn for us. Let me cut your grass. Sure, go ahead and take care of it. Go ahead and cut the grass. Just do it. Because I'm grateful for what Yah has given the Griffin household. Thank you, Lord. like Lady Davis said today, when the oil drops on the leader, it trickles on down to the people. So that very person who said thank you to that other pastor for letting us use the place is now about to buy his house. So it just trickles on down. When you're doing y'all's will and doing it correctly and doing what y'all wants you to do with no question, and while everything is taken away from you, you still doing his will. While people trying to sit you down, you're still doing what he told you to do. When they told you that you weren't going to amount to nothing, and they told you weren't going to make it to be anything, and you still doing what he told you to do, vengeance of mine, saith the Lord. So he ended up fighting for me when I didn't have to. So all I did was show up for the fight. And I let him put on the boxing gloves so I can sit back and cheer my God on, so I can continue to be the winner that I've been all this time. While people said I wasn't going to be a winner, I'm still a winner today. When they told you you weren't going to be a winner, you're a winner today. And now here we are in a place that we've never been before, because y'all loved us enough to give us more than what we had before. We lived in the ghetto and now we live in the suburbs. I need somebody to get excited again, because what God did for one, he'll do for the other. He don't have a respect to person. If he's going to bless me, he's going to bless you. If he took care of me, he's going to take care of you. If he saved your children, he's going to save mine. I need you to get excited about what God's doing in here. He's blessing his people when we don't even deserve it. We have not been all that good for him to do something for us, but he still somehow come down off of his throne to see about people who didn't deserve his love and bless us uncontrollably. We don't have room enough to receive nothing that we have, but he still left us enough to take care of his people. And now, and now here we are in our house. So with the house is taken care of. So the prophet had been talking about us a new building and all this kind of stuff, right? So y'all had to give us some stuff to put in there. So we right now, sitting in my living room, we have an organ to go into the new church. We have our own drum set to go in the new church. We got a place for y'all to sit when you come back to the new church. So he took care of all of that. He took care of our house and everything. So now he took care of his house. And it's funny because my wife, before we got married, she told me over the phone, she said, you know what, if you take care of y'all's house first, he'll take care of yours. So throughout all of that struggle, I kept on preaching. I kept on teaching. I kept on traveling the highways, preaching to other churches and teaching the Sabbath and everything else. And then one day, he just ended up blessing me. So after he blessed me, it's funny how he decided to bless me first. Then bless his own house. So there's an organ sitting in my house. He came in and played it, made it talk, and they had rehearsals for the song they sang it today, and they rehearsed in my house, on the organ that belonged to Temple of Redemption. So I'm just grateful to y'all for what he's doing for us. And I just know, and it's funny because I still have prophecy on me. I just had to get the message out. Because it's funny, on my way down here, I saw that building that Lady Davis wanted. I've never been to Knoxville, Tennessee. But I saw this building. I said to myself when I got out the car, I said, they're about to move. I just said to myself, I didn't say it out loud. I said, they're about to move. I said, I think it's this building over here across the street. I kept looking at it. I said, that's got to be the place. Because where they are now, it's just not enough. Because there's other things, her vision got to come to pass. And there's things that she wants to see, that she's going to see. But it's going to happen in the other place. So I'm just saying, it's going to happen.
Yes.
The new building's on the way,
Yes.
and the finances to take it and keep it up.
Amen.
See, there's a difference in getting finances to get it, but then you need finances to keep it up. So how people go out there and they buy these Mercedes, and you ain't got enough money to pay the payment or the insurance, what you buy it for? So you get things that you can handle.
That's right.
Because the place that you got is for you to have. So you can have schools and daycares and all that kind of stuff. All the different rooms in there, offices, meeting places for to discuss the business of the church, all that kind of thing. That's what you're going to get. And because you walked in it, it's already yours. See, that's how y'all works, right?
Right.
If you claim it, then it's yours. And it's funny, we're in the little place that we're in now, but there's so many buildings, my wife laughed at me, there's so many buildings in Lexington that nobody can seem to sell them, because I've prayed over all of them. I said, I'm gonna get that one, and I'm gonna get that one, and I'm gonna get that one over there. And there's a place right now where a library is trying to get it, and for some reason they just can't come up with the money to pay for that bill. That's it, because I done prayed over it. That belongs to us. I don't know what you're trying to do. You can't take our stuff. That belongs to us. So, blessings of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. So after he has forgiven you, and I have to say this before I go, you have to do his will to the fullest. All right? Everybody here that has gone through something and you're wondering, did y'all forgive you? He has. But you got to do something for him. You have to do what he commanded you. And no, I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments, because that's obvious. Do his law. But you got to do what he commanded you to do. Certain jobs in the ministry that certain people in here are supposed to be doing and haven't done yet. Certain people walk away after you say that. You got to be who you're called to be. Like this man here. He came down here because he wanted to see y'all, but didn't know that he had to come down here because he needs to be reminded, if he don't start preaching y'all's word, y'all will shut his mouth. Right? You know how it works? You have to obey. So when you open up your mouth, he'll feel it. And all these excuses, I don't do everything he commanded me to do yet. I ain't doing all this. Look, half the people in the Bible wouldn't do what y'all said do, and he still used them. Until they made up in their mind that they were going to do his will and stop playing around. But you keep playing around, and your mouth will be closed. Shut up tight. You won't be able to say nothing. See, right now, all you got is a scream. More than the scream. The scream is anointed. Because, when you hear him holler, it's like a siren that went off. But along with that scream, you got to obey y'all's voice. And stop ignoring him when he's talking to you, thinking that you're going crazy. Talking about, I'm hearing voices. You hear voices all right. Just obey the voice that you hear. And he won't have to cut you off. Because it's time out for us to say, oh, you're going to be blessed all the time. We have to remember that he's also a God that's terrible. See, he gets you too.
Well,
he's not here just to play around and just give you all these blessings. Oh, you like this? I'm going to give you this too. Because he just like he can give it to you, he can take it.
well,
So, you got to obey him. He has a work for you to do. And when you talk, when you testified today, I saw you as a preacher. I didn't see you as Deacon David. We hold on to titles that are comfortable or positions that are comfortable. You cool being a deacon.
I ain't got nowhere to move, man. Y'all be ready for me to move?
Well,
That's all I want to do. I want to get up there and do it. When he ain't coming to move,
well, he's been telling you to move for a while. Just ain't moving.
Yeah.
You got to get up. Basically, you're a car that started but ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Put some pedal, get some gas to it,
Some push.
and go.
well,
If you put gas to it, that car will run. If
well,
that car just sitting there, it ain't gonna go nowhere. Push that pedal and get to where y'all want you to do.
Oh, my ministry was outside.
Yeah, everybody's ministry's outside the church.
Right.
Everybody is. There's no category. Let's just make that clear. Nobody has, well, I got a prison ministry. No, we all got a prison ministry. We all have a street ministry. We all have that. You just got to do what he said to do. So when he tells you this for the last time, and this is it, this is the last time, because he done told you too many times. And he done talked to you privately, now he got to talk to you openly. Get up and do what he said to do. Study his word. Don't keep saying stuff that you heard people say. You study his word so you can say what he says say. So you won't be in error when it's time to say these things. Because I learned something new in this ministry, is that scriptures can be used in witchcraft.
Oh, yes. Amen.
Certain folks can quote scriptures and try to rebuke you with these scriptures, and all you're really doing is casting spells. Opening up your mouth, the Bible says this, the Bible says that. Yes, Satan knows the Bible, he does. It's how you use that Bible. And we actually had someone do that in our church. A lot of people, they don't know nothing about it, we talk about it. But we had that happen, and I mean, all kinds of scriptures. Just every time it's fuss, you got the Bible says this, the Bible. Look, the Bible talking to you is who it's talking to. When the Bible brings correction, that's for you. You ain't supposed to always correct everybody else, because I've learned as a prophet is that Yah will deal with you first before he lets you deal with anybody else.
Amen.
I done already been beat up by him. I got tired of that. His whoopings hurt. Let's just be real. It's painful to be whooped by Yah.
Yes.
And all he wants you to do is talk. He wants you to preach. That's all. Just open your mouth. It's not that hard. It's just you gotta love him enough to do it. You got to care enough about him to do what he said do. That same thing goes for this daughter back here. I've been watching her through this whole service. She got her head hung down. She don't talk about it. That's another prophet that has been silent for quite a while. Do certain things, you just don't. The deeper you go into sin, people think, oh, God ain't gonna use you. But if God used a donkey,
come on now,
to talk, to send out his word, and if Yah can also use a false prophet